What's up out there in this big old wide world that grows smaller every day? This is Octavia. Osmosis, Ocd, Voodoo, all of the above. Taking the opportunity this morning to do the third part based on the comments that I got on yesterday in reference to bullying, in reference to more questions, in reference to understanding how you triumph over adversity. I took the opportunity today to come down by the auditorium because, for one, I've never, all these concerts going on, all these things happening in other places. I don't understand why our singers, our artists, and individuals out there that entertain won't come to Montgomery. You hear that in the background? That's one of the trains. Goes by the mill over there, making sure that it does what it do over there. You know, this place is actually growing. You know, it's not as small as it was when I was growing up, to where I needed to feel as though a larger city would be better for me, or actually going out of the country would be better for me. So I'm appreciating these things that are here, and imposing myself on the culture to make it widen its horizon and get bigger, so my soul brothers and sisters won't mind coming here and doing a venue, and knowing that you got these genie pants wearing soul brothers out here, taking the opportunity to wrap their heads, put on their goggles, keeping it country, cool, and all together. So when you walk up in here, you don't feel like you all alone and nobody's paying attention. We need you here. That's a culture move that Soul has forgotten, and it has forgotten us here in Montgomery. Today is bullying part 3. This is in reference to observation and aftermath, and the observation comes from my 2005, emailing individuals that all of a sudden did not respond in reference to my situation with my living situation then, me being completely bullied in my apartment building by the counselor and individuals that worked on staff, when no account was given to the fact that I was not in the building for the same avenues as those that were, which was very interesting to me. I took the opportunity to be sure, as a professional individual, to share input, but because before 2005, I had nothing but a professional job, working corporately and wore my suits and ties and dress shoes like on Sunday, as I say, and appreciate now the opportunity that it was bestowed upon me by the universe, in order to realize that there are other cultures out there who still do professional jobs, but do not contemplate, do I wear a tie, do I wear a shirt, will I be respectable as a suit wearing individual or whatnot. I am glad to know that last night wasn't again one of those nights to where I had to watch my back. It has not been an easy, independent situation for me, but I'm not blaming anyone. I am not even putting blame. I'm allowing the universe and God to bring to me what is meant for me. That's good or bad. What I have to do is maintain my positive level of thinking, and succumb to happiness. This for me is like a big, big step in really letting people know the embarrassment that I have kept to myself in reference to tons of people who had no business in my personal life, taking the opportunity to make repercussions for me being outspoken, me being an individual, and living my life the way my grandmother had hoped I would, I'm sure. She died as she had hoped, not being in the care of anyone, and I truly understand why she chose that form of identity when it came to what happens when you're ill, what happens when you're poor, what happens when you're faced with an emotional breakdown and there is no support or structure anywhere there for you to assist you through your change. We all go through emotional breakdowns, whether it's daily, whether it's yearly, whether it's during death, or whatever your situation is. I had to deal with bullying through healing, through my surgery, through dealing with the loss of a longtime companion, through facing the fact that without my grandmom or my madia and my aunt, I would no longer have a supportive network of people that would actually listen inside my family. It was something that taught me a lot, and I am still learning from the experience. What hurt and what brought the most pain were the inflictions brought on by those that were mad about me reporting the indecencies going on at the Welcome House, with the indecencies going on at Piedmont Park and the Sharon Lester Tennis Center, about the disrespect I faced at the hands of all of those people that were a part of those situations, except for a few, and they know who they are, and they can speak on those situations as a witness to my testimony in reference to those that had no need in order to be a part of the contempt, but decided that they felt it as a means of being a part of the party. Well, when you're a part of the party, you have to realize that once the party's over, somebody got to clean up the mess. Now, if I have to come home and clean up the mess, then looks like that's what I needed to do. So that's what I'm doing, because I choose never ever to relate to any situation as if I'm uncomfortable. I don't have to be. If it's not meant for me, then it's not meant for me. I can move forward and be happy. Um, Bullying is so significant to self-preservation also, and it's a natural state of mind for some. That's how aggression is supposedly related, when at the same time, if you're an unhealthy individual, the aggressiveness and the personality that goes along with getting ahead, it can turn into bullying if you're not careful. Trust me, I have observed leaders, out of embarrassment, out of their sexual practices, out of their situations, to take control of my personal situation by using a down low method of thinking that became embarrassing in the long run. I don't wouldn't impose any of the situations that I have gone through on anybody. This to me has been one of the biggest and the most craziest things that I have ever seen. I took it upon myself to say that, somehow I am not going to allow myself to even feel hurt, because I know my ex is angry. As a matter of fact, his friends were jealous of our situation. Anytime you deal with anyone in the course of a relationship the way they did, there had to be some form of jealousy, hatred, and hostility in the minds of those that were involved, especially when it came to those that were heterosexual and felt as though I was going to be imposing some form of inappropriate behavior in their environment because straight people are the right people, they're the normal people. Well, hey, your bullying attempts are noted, and as far as I can handle the situation, I am assuring that someone knows and everything is acknowledged. So trust me, even for those that are gay, that decided that normal is straight, I feel pity for you. And with me taking the opportunity to show you an outward, outspoken side of what successful being happy is, I'm hoping that you can relate and change some of the methods that you use to correlate every day with your environment. I am completely uncomfortable. Sleeping last night, where I have been sleeping nonetheless, is not a accomplishment by no means, when you know that someone can call somebody on a phone, promise them $50 to $100 to $200 to $300 to $400 to even in some cases $1,200 to $2,000 to do something to you. If it's nothing but play a recording of Laughter by Daryl Dickerson, if it's nothing but making sure that they take the opportunity to make sure I hear them talk to Rayshard Henderson, an individual that was involved, who tried to bully me by hitting me with their car, by making perverse phone calls to other individuals in reference to my namesake, and also taking the opportunity to do other inappropriate, immature things in order to get me arrested and everything else. I have suggested to those individuals involved to make sure they make appropriate steps. That's Conrad Hill, that's Dr. Philip Nowlin, and that's even Darrell, who would definitely have to relate to this situation for the embarrassment that it brings on anyone that knows our families and anyone other families involved. You don't